Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 250,000. By the way, we're like 10,000 shy, so help me by subscribing, sharing, and watching this video. Because the other day on Political Beatdown, Ben and I, my co-host, were speaking about Canada. And it was a really interesting conversation. Now, you have to understand, half my family live in Toronto. My father is from Canada and so on, until, of course, he became a citizen many years later when I was already like 11 years old. And we discussed that Canadian public figures are starting to speak about Trudeau's Mar-a-Lago dinner, which, of course, I refer to as going there to kiss the ring. Now, Ben and I slightly disagreed. I see it a little different than he. He sees it a little different. Though we both see the forest, we just have differences of opinions regarding the tree. We both were disagreeing about what that dinner actually meant, which made for a great conversation. And you need to be a part of it. Play the clip.
The first one I'll show you this is recently what Doug Ford said last night or 2 days ago, kind of changing his tone. Let's play this.
Let's make no mistake about it. As I mentioned to the Prime Minister, the rest of the premiers, we need to be ready. We need to be ready to fight. This fight is coming 100% on January the 20th or January 21st. But we'll use every tool in our toolbox, including cutting them off energy that we're sending down there. Folks, this is coming. It's not if it is, it's coming. And it's coming January 20th or 21st. And we need to be prepared. We need to stand as a country. We need to stand united as Canadians and work hand in hand and shoulder to shoulder with our colleagues across the country. And we're ready to do it. We'll use every tool in our toolbox to fight back. We can't sit back and roll over. We just won't as a country. We never have.
So Doug Ford, Conservative Party, he used to be MAGA guy. He was quoted as saying, "Yep, my support for Trump is unwavering." Let me show you one more, Cohen, then get your response. On the opposite end of the political spectrum, the New Democratic Party, you had Charlie Angus, member of parliament, gave this incredible speech. I played the whole speech on one of our YouTube videos. Let me show you a small portion of it here. This is the party that's allied with the majority party, the Liberal Party. This is the NDP right now. Play this clip.
So yes, they are our neighbors, but we have stood up to them. We're in a different situation with Donald Trump, a convicted predator, who's seriously undermining the democratic process in the United States, and he thinks he can just push us around. Exactly. He insults us. Yep. You know, the Conservatives seem to like it because he's insulting our Prime Minister, but he's not really insulting the Prime Minister. He's insulting Canadians, calling us the 51st state.
That's right, exactly.
You know, once there was a Canada that had a flag that didn't need to be waved. A flag that represented who we are. We didn't boast about it.
That was Charlie Angus, a member of the Canadian House of Commons. He's Michael Cohen. When you have the NDP and the Conservative Party in Canada saying similar things, and Donald Trump's uniting political part, not necessarily uniting them, but at least rhetorically against the United States, and these are our allies in Canada and Mexico. This is China's dream scenario right now.
Yes, but let's at least be honest with each other, right? This Canadian gentleman can say whatever he wants, that we're going to use whatever tool we have in our toolbox. What do they have? Do you know how big, for example, the Canadian Army is? The Canadian Army is smaller than the New York City Police Department. They have 70,000 people in their entire military. Their major production, the major outsourced goods that they send to the United States is steel, aluminum, lumber, and gas, natural gas. We can do without all of those. That's the unfortunate reality that we have. And my family Half my family live in Toronto. I love Canada. I love Canada. And I got to tell you something. I'm so disappointed that Trudeau went there to kiss the ring. You see, the mistake that Trudeau
I don't think
made.
he went there to kiss the ring, though. I don't.
What he did is he thought that he was going to outsmart Trump. He was going to go there. They were going to have a pleasant conversation. He was going to go there, kiss the ring, tell him how great it is that he's going to be returning to the White House, unprecedented victory. But Donald, it's really not in either of our best interests. And these are Trudeau's words. It's not in either of our best interests within which to impose tariffs. In 2017, Trump imposed tariffs on, for example, aluminum that was being imported to the United States. The cost went up so much, like, for example, with aluminum cans, that Trump gave them a waiver. He gave everybody a waiver. So he went there thinking he was going to sweet talk Trump out of this notion of doing the tariffs on Canada. Instead, you know what Trump saw in Trudeau? He saw weakness. I've seen this a million times with Trump. The second he feels that you are weak, he owns you. And not only did he decide that he was going to own him, he decided he was going to embarrass him as well in front of his entire country. Because, yes, it's true. Trump hates Trudeau. He does. And by the way, you know why Trump hates Trudeau? You know, in 2017, you know what the rumor was? That Trump hated him because Ivanka thought he was really handsome. I'm not joking about this shit. That's how petty that things were in 2017. But Trump embarrassed him, not just in front of America when he turned around and kept calling him governor, but also when he started referring to Canada as the 51st state. He embarrassed him in front of his own country and the world. And that's what Trump wanted to do.
I think you are misreading it, to be honest. I think you're viewing it through an American perspective. I think that he did was actually help Trudeau's chances of staying in power in Canada by rallying people around. I speak to a lot of Canadians.
So I spoke to my cousins. As I told you, I have 5 first cousins that live in Toronto. Each one of them thinks Trudeau has to go. And one of my cousins is actually friendly with Trudeau. And he also thinks that it's enough. It's such an embarrassment to the country, the fact that Trudeau came. Now, it's one thing if Trudeau went to the White House. Every leader goes to the White House. But going to Mar-a-Lago to meet with the president-elect, for what? For what? Because Trump is threatening tariffs on wood, right? On lumber, on gas, on rolled steel, on hard steel. Do you know, at the end of the day, assuming that those tariffs go through to the extent Trump is talking, then you know who's going to ultimately feel the effects of those tariffs? It's not going to be the Canadian Lumber Company. It's not going to be the rolled steel company. It's not going to be the steel pallet company. It's not going to be the gas company, the natural gas coming out of Canada. It's going to be us, the consumer, because they all make their profit. If you need, for example, the lumber to build a house, who do you think is going to end up paying the 175% increase for each piece of wood? You and me. It's going to put an end to the housing market once and for all here. It's going to absolutely stop. And what about all the workers, the folks that build the house? What about those the guys from the unions? Those who voted for Trump under the guise that he was going to be good for the country with tariffs. I am 100% in agreement with the 27 different U.S. economists that said tariffs are going to tank our economy, and we are kicking ass right now. The stock market's at all-time high, unemployment all-time low, things are going great. Tariffs, whether it's just Canada, whether it's China, whether he's going to do it across the board, it's going to tank our economy. So get ready for it. And that's why you're going to see a complete and total change, which is historically what happens in the midterm elections. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.